For more than a century, the National Council of Jewish Women has been at the forefront of social change, a champion of the needs of women, children, and families.
In my day, when a woman was busy with counsel, it was because she needed something extra to do. We started doing things that didn't require raising money, such as the book fair and toy mobiles for the hospital, for Texas Children's Hospital, things that would benefit people, children, that might cost us something and we would gain much in return, not money. As the city grew, of course, right after the war, the membership grew. And as the membership grew, they expanded in their interests and were able to do more. So naturally, they became more involved. The council members and the organization itself was completely involved in doing for others.
Founded in 1913, the Greater Houston section of the NCJW has grown from humble beginnings to over 800 women who are committed to making a difference in the local community and in Israel.
NCJW is so different from any other organization. We make a difference everywhere we go. We don't ask our members to support a project we don't feel passionate about or we don't even participate volunteering with. So we're really a hands-on organization.
NCJW volunteers are pioneers, thinkers, and doers with a legacy of taking action to promote social justice, peace, and human rights. From its inception, NCJW has advocated for women's health and the elimination of all forms of harassment, violence, abuse, inequality, and exploitation of women.
NCJW supports ABDA in so many different ways. We have consistently had fabulous board members from NCJW throughout our 33 years of existence. The Mother's Day event that is put on by NCJW volunteers is just fabulous. And certainly there is financial support that is extremely important to us and to our clients.
ABDA is a very unique agency. It fills the gaps between shelters and other agencies that help women and the law.
It is and has been somewhat of a unique program because it combined a legal services component of actually representing the victims of domestic violence in the court system with the counseling component.
We found that women were falling through the cracks and just poor women who couldn't afford attorneys didn't know where to turn if they were abused. So ABDA met that need.
Victims of abuse come to ABDA with so many needs, and while they initially come to us looking for legal assistance, protective orders, divorce, custody, they come in with a lot of needs, and that's largely because of the dynamics of domestic violence. The batterer uses economic control to keep the victim from fleeing, and as a result they leave oftentimes with only the clothes on their backs. And through the NCJW Client Emergency Assistance Fund, we can provide transportation, we can provide emergency clothing, food. Occasionally there's some litigation costs that have to be picked up as well.
We're really helping advocate and fight for those who don't necessarily have the means to fight for themselves or have a voice of their own.
We've always advocated for reproductive rights for women. Currently, NCJW has a major nationwide program going called Plan A, which would be access to contraceptives for women, and that insurance companies would pay for this.
It's proven that families are more successful when women can choose when and how many children they want. That economy does better, families do better, family stability. It's better for the women, it's better for the husbands, it's better for the children.
The Greater Houston section has a long, proud history of giving a voice to those who can't speak for themselves. NCJW volunteers help children and families by promoting excellence in educational, health, and daycare programs and fighting child abuse.
I think one of the most important projects that NCJW works on is the Hippie Project. It's been a wonderful program with teaching disadvantaged children to have their parent as their first teacher.
Hippie
is an early childhood program. It's a 30-week length curriculum, very specific by age. We empower parents of 3, 4, and 5-year-olds so they can be school readiness. The bonding within parents and children is phenomenal. They learn at home, which is their own environment, and they are ready to school. I have many cases where students have been promoted from year to year, for example, from kindergarten to first grade, due to the knowledge, already know how to read and do math and science.
The mothers that have been the first teachers have, been empowered by this program, and they've gone on to finish their high school degree and be great role models for their children.
It is a very diverse population that we need to serve, and with further growth, we will be able to fulfill the needs of more families within our community.
NCJW creates programs and promotes laws to protect women, children, and men from all forms of abuse, including hate crimes, sex trafficking, and domestic violence, and advocates for equal pay and equal access to quality education, health care, and daycare for all.
In a perfect world, if everybody had equal rights, they would have choices. And they could choose, women could choose whether they wanted to stay home with their children, or if they wanted to go back to work, or they could balance the two and have good daycare in the workplace where they knew their children would be safe. Plus, sexual harassment would stop in the workplace, and that women wouldn't have to put up with that in fear of being fired.
I think it's very important for the older women to mentor the younger ones and never let them forget what we fought for. Just like the suffragettes, we take for granted what they did for us.
NCJW has a history of supporting refugee families when they come to America. We helped families who had escaped the Holocaust when they came to America resettle here and start lives over.
The President and Congress at that time had decreed, in their infinite wisdom, that so many Jews would be allowed in this country each year, providing each one had a sponsor. So the Council of Jewish Women here took it on themselves to go out first and find people who would sponsor them. The sponsors meant paying for passage and bringing them here in their early settlement here.
So we arrived in Louisville in the summer of 1949, and through the efforts of NCJW, we were settled in a duplex apartment, and it was furnished with secondhand furniture. We had secondhand clothing, but very, very nice furniture and very nice clothing. We arrived to a refrigerator that was stocked with our first food and our first meals. And as my mother described it, there on the kitchen table, on a round table, was a vase filled with red roses. And this was our welcome to America from NCJW.
NCJW volunteers follow Jewish values in performing mitzvah and tikkun olam, repairing the world. The Greater Houston section supplies funding for programs that help women and children of all backgrounds in Israel.
Israel advocacy goes hand in hand with what we're working on here in the United States. Their women have the same problems that we do. Of course, some of theirs are more serious. With the religious community, it's very hard for some women to obtain a divorce or a get, and it's also very difficult to assure rights for women to be able to pray at the wall, to be able to sit on a bus as a normal citizen would, and to be able to have her voice heard. I think through Jewish values, NCJW works in mitzvot and also tikkun olam, which is to repair the world. And I think everything that we do, all of our projects have that theme around them. You don't have to be Jewish to have to repair the world.
The Talmud says every blade of grass has its angel that bends over it and whispers, grow, grow. Our children are blades of grass. You must be the angels. Thank you.
The National Council of Jewish Women. a faith in the future, a belief in action. Support NCJW Greater Houston Section and we can make social change happen together.